Hi guys, back today with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about something completely different, not makeup related, not mummy related. It's actually a health related subject. I'm going to talk about health anxiety. I suffer from health anxiety, so when I went to look up about it online, there's not really much about health anxiety, especially on YouTube. Maybe found maybe one or two videos. There's a lot to do with general anxiety, but not really health anxiety. So I thought maybe I would do this video just to let people know what health anxiety is, and that anybody that's going through health anxiety, that maybe this video could maybe help them maybe to get the help they need to get better. Because something about health anxiety, you don't realise that it's an illness when you have it. It took me a wee while to catch on that I was ill, like I was mentally ill. I thought it was just normal to think the way I did, but anyway, I'll get started on how my health anxiety came about. I've only really had health anxiety for maybe a year now. It was when I was pregnant with my wee girl last February. I was feeling great at the start of the pregnancy, and I started to get a sore shoulder. So I phoned the doctor to make an appointment, but they couldn't see me for like 2.5 weeks. So for them 2.5 weeks, I was totally wondering why I had a sore shoulder. And I started to get maybe a bit of pain in the breast, so I started to Google, which is the worst thing you can do. Anybody, please do not Google. Please go to your doctor if there's anything wrong. But anyway, I started to Google and things were coming up about breast cancer. So after a couple of days, I started to get into my head that I had breast cancer, and practically started to cry every day, thinking, right, what am I going to do? I have breast cancer, I have a child, I'm pregnant, and I'm going to die. What am I going to do? So I worked myself up until the 2.5 weeks till I seen the doctor. I'll never forget sitting in the waiting area. I remember my hands sweating and my heart was beating so fast, because I felt like when I was going to go in there, I was literally going to tell her what was wrong. Like, I knew that she was going to say, well, Emma, you might have breast cancer. So I went in and I told her what was wrong, and she examined my breast and she says, Emma, there's no lumps. So I was like, right, well, she's like, there's a very little chance that you have breast cancer. So I walked out and I felt good at the time. I was like, right, you don't have breast cancer, Emma. But as the days went on after the doctor's appointment, it was like a wee niggling thing at the back of my head saying, but what about if they miss something? What about, what about if that doctor's wrong? You don't always have to have a lump to have breast cancer. So I started to work myself up again, thinking that maybe they'd missed something, and went back to her again and said, look, I would want to be referred to the breast clinic because I think maybe there's a good chance that I might have breast cancer. She didn't think so, but she referred me on anyway, and I went to the breast clinic, and they were great there, and they scanned my breast because I couldn't get what do you call that thing when you what do you call that thing when you get and they press your boobs down? Well, you know what I'm talking about anyway. Well, I couldn't get that done because I was pregnant, so I got the ultrasound and everything was great. I remember sitting in the waiting area and I was literally, my legs were shaking, worrying, going, they're going to tell me I have breast cancer. So anyway, went there and everything was fine. They were happy enough. They thought maybe I was just having a sore shoulder and breast due to lifting my wee boy when I was pregnant. This was maybe when I was maybe 17 weeks pregnant. So went on holidays, thinking a wee holiday, we'll get a wee break, will make me think about it less, but it didn't. Worrying about it on holidays, anxious, constantly worrying that I was going to die when I had my baby. And really that continued on every day, thinking that I was going to die practically, and it was going to be cancer related. So my doctor referred me on for counselling because I couldn't take any tablets because I was pregnant. So I started counselling, that helped. And then the doctor had phoned me to see how I was keeping, and she had said, as I had still got the pain. I said, yeah, I'm still suffering from the breast and shoulder pain. And she says, maybe we'll refer you on for a chest x-ray, which is probably the worst thing she could have said, because then I started thinking, she think maybe I have lung cancer. So I got myself all worked up again, thinking, right, I have lung cancer. And ended up in A&E, demanding a chest x-ray, thinking my GP must think I have lung cancer, because it's definitely not breast cancer, because I've been checked for it. So got myself all worked up again. Started to feel anxious again, worrying every day, what am I going to do without my, like, what's my children going to do without me? I'm going to be pregnant and sick, and thinking worst case scenario constantly. So still doing counselling, starting to help, the doctors done a chest x-ray, everything was fine. Went through my pregnancy, started getting counselling, started to feel just a bit better. It wasn't crying every day, worrying maybe a couple of times a week, but it wasn't all day every day. And my partner used to say, Emma, see, once you have this baby, this pain will go away. So had my baby girl. It was the best day ever, and thought, right, I'm gonna have this baby and this shoulder pain is just gonna go away. Well, it didn't. So constantly had the pain, and went back to counselling. Then after I had Darcy, and I started CBT course and cognitive behaviour therapy, which helped a lot, because I wouldn't have, as having health anxiety, I would have avoided like magazine articles to do with cancer, the news, Facebook, anything that would have maybe you know things about cancer, or even cancer adverts on TV. I would have had to switch over immediately, because if I would have read something, I would have put myself in that then person's shoes, and I would have thought what they were probably thinking going through that. So I avoided all that. So what CBT did was help me face my fears. So I was even avoiding exercising, because I was afraid to hurt myself in any way that would make me feel even more worse than I did, and make me feel more anxious. I was just avoiding everything, and I wasn't living my life to the fullest. As I used to say, if you're worrying about dying, you're not living. So started CBT, it was great. Started facing my fears, started watching cancer adverts, started watching medical dramas again, like 24 hours in A&E, or GP out of hours, things like that there. So started to feel a lot better after I had Darcy. The pain just wasn't just as severe. Started on a wee tablet called Sertraline, which is good for depression and anxiety, and that took my anxiety down a lot. So really, from I've had Darcy in September, I've been on my Sertraline and doing CBT, and I just finished my CBT there last week. So yes, I'm getting better, slowly but surely. It is a long process, and it's just getting out of your habits that you have having anxiety, of avoiding things, avoiding exercise, avoiding magazines, maybe with real life stories about people maybe that are sick, and it's just taking it day by day. So I didn't have breast or lung cancer anyway, but it just goes to show you how your mind can be your own worst enemy sometimes. And every time I try to think rationally, there's like a wee bad angel or something in the back of my mind saying, no, Emma, but you might be wrong. And it is like, to me, people don't take health anxiety serious. They just say, oh, it's near like they want to be sick. Believe me, I didn't want to be sick. There was like, the doctor used to ask me, have you suicidal thoughts? And I'd be like, no, I have the opposite. I want to live. I'm worried that I'm sick because I don't want to die. I want to see my children grow up. So, there's a name for it called hypochondria, and I don't really think that they should call it that, because there's such a bad stigma to that word. I really don't want to be sick, but I really had got in my head that I was sick, because why was I suffering this pain? Where was it coming from? But I don't suffer from the shoulder pain anymore, so I think it was just getting to the point where I was creating the pain on my shoulder from constantly thinking about it all the time. Now, I think the reason why I done this video is because I am on the road to recovery, but you can have good and bad days too. I'm going through a health related issue at the moment, and I think I'm doing well trying to keep the anxiety down and just taking it day by day and just going with the thing, going with the saying that God forbid if anything did happen, everything will be alright, and God's watching over us, and God has a plan for everybody, and God forbid if anything did happen, my children will be well looked after. But I just want to do this video because if I help one person, that would be fantastic, because I know when I was at down my downest worst time, like thought I was the only person in the world to have health anxiety and nobody understood me, and going through YouTube, was anybody going through the same thing? And I find somebody, Dolly Bow, I'm subscribed to her, and she was the only person that had a video up about health anxiety and what she went through, and it did make me feel better that somebody else had went through it. Now it wasn't, hers wasn't cancer related, hers was different, but she still had health anxiety. She worried about her health, and it did help. Sorry, my battery's going low, but it did help to know that somebody else was going through it. And to anybody out there that is suffering from health anxiety, you're not alone. And if you haven't went to get help, please do go get help. You're not silly, and the doctor will find you help, will send you to counselling or start you on a tablet, because you do need that help. And once you're on the road to recovery, you'll not look back, because I wasn't living my life. I wasn't the Emma that I was before I got pregnant, and it's actually made me afraid to get pregnant again, because I'm now associating the bad time in my life with being pregnant. But to anybody that is suffering, please go get help, because there is help out there and you're not alone, and it's not silly. So that's really it, guys. I think I'm going to do a video after this um, for a couple of things that I've bought, but other than that, hope you are doing well, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.